What's up, YouTube? Southern Comic Geek coming to you with another haul video. That's right. And you guessed it. And before we get started, I do want to remember to remind you to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when videos like this and others drop in the future. And thanks in advance for subscribing. Right after I did my last video, I got mail for the day, and I got this beauty right here. This is a comic that I've been looking for. I believe it's a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. This is the John Tyler Christopher variant, the negative space variant. The more popular version of his is the Wolverine as of late. But like the Wolverine, it is numbered. This is 2677 of 3000. Definitely a nice one there. Uncanny X-Men 22, I believe. And so I actually picked this up on a website, or ordered one, let me rephrase that, on a website, and eventually had to either American Express or PayPal, whoever I had used, get my money back because it was totally bogus. And so they had charged my card, and probably it was a too good to be true deal, and so I should have known better. But I got my money back, so no harm, no foul. But that one I went on eBay and found it, and was happy with the price that I paid on it. It wasn't a steal, but it was okay. It was one I wanted, so I was okay with the price, and all was good. But that one came in. These came in today. Been ordering, these come off of IG. So there are 5, I believe, giant size X-Men's, the most famous of them being Giant Size X-Men number 1. But this is Giant Size X-Men number 4. There might be 4, and this is 4, because I know I'm needing number 3. And so, which is a homage to Giant Size X-Men number 1. But anyway, so I picked this up from a seller on Instagram. And I won't mention their name right now, and this is the reason why. So I got this particular comic, and this is Return of Wolverine, the second print. And you might be aware that there is an error variant to this. So when I purchased this comic, it was listed as an error variant, and I said claim. She said, well, I've already sold that one. Let me check and see if I have another one. I do have another one. And I said, okay, it is the error variant, correct? And she said, yes, it is still the error variant. However, this is not the error variant. In fairness to her, I'm not going to call her name out as of right now. And so I did send her a thing. She said, oh no, I must have sent the wrong one. Can you send me a video of the first couple of pages so that I can feel comfortable? So she acted like she's going to send it to me, so I'll keep you updated as to whether or not it's somebody that you want to do business with. You know, in the YouTube community, a lot of these people are constant sellers on the same channel, and if you've bought from one, they basically vouch for each other. IG is a little different, but like YouTube, they want you to pay friends and family, which I understand why. They're not wanting to pay the tax and the fees on it. So there's a little more trust factor if you haven't already dealt with somebody before. This is somebody I'd never dealt with before. And if it turns out that they don't do right by me, I will say their name, not to down them or anything like that, just to let you know, so that you might want to think twice before dealing with them. But if they come back and do what's right, everybody makes a mistake. If they come back and do what's right, I'll certainly let y'all know as well. So I did pick up this one from the same seller, pretty cheap. Deathblow number 2, or Jim Lee goodness from back in the day. Red Hood and the Outlaws 28, Yasmin Putri cover. Comic Jabroni stole this comic from me. Seriously though, probably already know the story, but we were on an auction and we were bidding back and forth, so it was kind of a rub salt in the wound, you know, when he showed it off on his channel, which is okay. It was all in fun and jest. So Red Hood and the Outlaw 33, a Perillo cover. He's Skeletor. So those are the ones that I got from that seller. I did pick up some books off of a YouTube auction for Tacoma Comics. And so been picking up some more of these kind of weird off the wall type things. Captain America Goes to War Against Drugs. I used to have this comic back in the day. And Peter David wrote this. Didn't realize that. More known for like Scarlet Spider, the Hulk, X Factor later runs, and things of that nature. But he's a frequent visitor at cons, so I thought, I'm going to get this Joker, sign it. It'd probably be the only one signed if I was to get it graded. And then the New Teen Titans, again, another oddball. And look, it's the little keyboard elf. And he put that out there trying to keep people from getting drugs. Instead, he wants to sell them sugary products, which are probably just as bad as drugs in some ways. Then he also sold the Star Wars Kanan, The Last Padawan. I am a Star Wars fan. I think I've read most of these already. Bigger fan of Mark Brooks, who did these covers. So that was number 5. Number 8, he's getting called on the carpet there. Number 9. And then number 11. So kind of a negative space variant worked with that too. So it was pretty cool. X-Men Legacy 224, a little Rogue and Gambit interaction there. A Miku Sion variant. Pretty cool. And his work does remind me a lot of Mark Brooks. But so maybe it's just the style that appeals to me. X-Men Legacy 249. Looks like Rogue and Magneto. Oh, Magneto, let me comfort you. So I don't know what's going on there. X-Men Legacy 251. And then 252. Legion appears to be having problems. Nothing new there. And I also got a package. So the mailman had delivered my mail. I had already opened up everything, saw that, and said, hey, I'm going to do a video and all that kind of stuff. And then this package came back. He came back. So shout out to the mailman for doing the right thing. Realized he forgot a book, and instead of just saying, well, screw him, he'll get it tomorrow, then he actually brought it back. So. And by the way, the mailman looks like strangely like Dwayne Wade. However, it's not him, I'm sure. I don't live in Florida, and I'm sure Dwayne Wade is not worried about delivering mail. It'd be funny if he looked like Karl Malone. It'd be even funnier if he was. So, this is a big old box. So I appreciate the eBay seller, and then he put this inside of that box. So I appreciate the eBay seller. Anytime somebody goes the extra mile to pack some stuff, because as of late I've been getting a bunch of stuff damaged. It's just the volume of mail has significantly increased. Some probably disgruntled postal workers for having to work during the corona stuff. So anytime it does good. So this is one of those items that I don't even remember how I ran across it. I don't know if I ran across it in a random, like, you know how eBay knows what you're looking at, so they will do the algorithm stuff. Now the algorithm, for those of you who don't know, one of the definitions of the algorithm is when Agu does a dance. That's algorithm. Also defined as some weird numbers that they say, hey, he likes this stuff, so I'm going to send him this, and maybe he will buy it. I think that's really what happened there, because I don't know that anything big happens in this particular book. And I'll give a shout out to Quasar Comics, and so they sold this on eBay. And he put a little deal in here. Thank you for your purchase. Hope you enjoy the item. If you have any questions, more actions, drop down, contact seller. If the item has been damaged by the post office, please contact us. So unfortunately, PO does not allow us damaged items to be reshipped. So everything looks to be in order. This is a CGC, looks like an old label. It is. It's an older label, so it's going to be, anyway. So I just mentioned having these strange off the wall deals, even bizarre. And this is a Bizarre Adventures magazine group, Marvel, and this is a 9.4. Chris Claremont story, Paul Galassi cover, John Buscema, George Perez, and Alfredo Alcala art. White pages, so boy who had 7, you'd be proud of it. X-Men solo stories featuring Phoenix, Iceman, and Nightcrawler. So pretty cool right there. Just kind of chilling with the Phoenix right there. Came out in July of 1981. So pretty cool. And Secret Lives of the X-Men. So thought this was kind of a weird pickup, and so I saw it on there. I said, huh. So I did a little investigating. I said, man, that'd be a neat one to have into the collection. But there was not a buy it now on there, but I hit the watch button. And I believe, and if you know any different, feel free to correct me in the comments down below, because other people see those, and I don't want to tell somebody wrong, but I believe that when you hit that watch button, that's what determines if the person has the thing set up to be able to offer a lower offer. This is one of the ways that eBay basically takes the reins in trying to sell your product, and you can kind of take a hands-off approach. So you don't have to go back and forth, or take a too low ball of an offer. And so they saw that I watched the thing, so they said, this person might be interested. And so they send out an email and saying, hey, you might be interested. This offer was sent to other people too. Don't know how many other people there were, but it says the same thing. And we're willing to give you this percentage discount off. And so I said, cool. And that's what we did. It included free shipping. So I paid $88 for it. And so it had free shipping. So basically that would have been $15. So so you've been looking at about $73 is what I paid for the thing, according to Go Collect. It's worth about that. And so interesting addition to the collection, as it were. Bizarre even. And on top of that, got an okay deal on it as well, which is a big plus. The only for displaying purposes, I like the fact that it's already CGC. If it wasn't, I wouldn't have probably sent it to CGC. But for displaying purposes, it's nice that it's already in a deal, and you know what kind of grade you got on it, as opposed to getting one and it might be a little more beat up than what you would have liked. However, had it not been, I always like to look at these in the back. It just kind of very dates the magazine, especially ones from the 80s and 90s. I'll look back at and reminisce when this really made sense, like Marvel Comics postcard book. Enough said, 32 detachable postcards, and you could get it for $2.50. Of course, sending postcards is mostly a thing of the past. You know, my kids, I'm sure, like many of your kids, and they have trouble addressing an envelope because it's just not something they do. I mentioned a while back about getting the phone book out to see, and they're like, how do you use the phone book? So that is quite interesting, and I'm sure that my generation before me did much the same as I'm doing with them, in that there were things that I wasn't used to, say like going to the ice house. You call a refrigerator an ice box for a reason, because it used to literally have an ice box in it. You call a glove compartment in a car mainly because it used to have gloves in it, and that was a place to restore them. I don't know, maybe y'all all store gloves in your compartments. I never do. Mostly it's a catch-all for napkins from the latest fast food place, or receipts where I went and got my oil change. It's not normally for gloves, and so it's just interesting how those phrases have stayed with those items long after they're really relevant. But those are my hauls. So got 3 different, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 packages. And got a lot more coming from IG. I know there's some auctions going on this weekend, so who knows what we got there. I'm trying to clean up some of my auctions. I've got some people that are out there holding books for me. I was trying to build up bigger boxes and kind of disperse the shipping a little bit, distribute rather the shipping a little bit among more than just one or two books. I'm trying to clean those up out there, make sure I've got everything in. You got too much out there, and then I worry about, hey, what if I never get that book and I forgot I never got it? But that's just me. So just trying to clean up all that out there. So I probably have more books that I've been purchased a while back, but I'm just now getting to there. And hopefully, after I get the new stackable boxes in, which I've ordered and supposed to be here next week, I'm going to be rearranging my comic corner over there to the side of my room, and rearranging that comic corner to, because it looks like a trash heap right now. I'm out of space for all my comics because I'm up to 4,222 comics, and just no space for all that stuff. So I'm gonna move it around. Got some of those stackable boxes and get that shaped up. And then at that point, my room will be cleaned up, and I'm going to do a comic book tour of my room and my book displays and the like. Hey, if you're looking forward to that, let me know in the comments. I'll speed things up a little bit, because some other videos that I'm going to be working on when my X-Men 1, 4, and 9 get back from grading, which they should be in the next couple of weeks. When they get back from grading, I'm going to start doing my Uncanny X-Men collection. So Uncanny X-Men 1, Volume 1 through Volume 5, including the annuals. I have them all, and so I'll be going one by one, and depending on the stories, because some of them have a lot of history of how I ended up with it, and back and forth with the seller, and what shop I found it in whatever state. So that was, to me at least, some of the interesting part of the collection. Some of them were just a few clicks away on eBay, and those are not normally the ones with the bigger stories or the funner stories, because the hunt is half of the collection fun. So I'll be doing out videos like that. And if you're interested in seeing those videos, let me know in the comments. Again, when I get the feedback from the community, it kind of urges me to do videos like this more often. And because there's although I don't do the editing that other channels might do, I do feed off your feedback like other channels do, and so it encourages me to do things like this when you don't get paid for it and you got other things going on. You kind of prioritize your life. As you can imagine, having 6 kids like I do, things can get crazy. So appreciate you taking your time to watch this and other videos like it. I will remind you, if you haven't done so already, please consider hitting that like button and the subscribe button, as well as the bell notification. Also, if you haven't done so already, go to the playlists on my, not on the playlist, but on the previous videos and my 400 subscriber giveaway video, where I detail what will be given away after I get 400 subscribers, and also how to enter to win. It's very simple to win. You don't have to be in the continental United States. You just have to be 18 years or older and do what the video says. So go to the video and check that out if you haven't done so already, to be able to take advantage of those giveaways, because I'm at 350, 351, depending on the time of the day that YouTube gives me. So I'm not very far off, and so anticipate hitting that pretty soon. Hopefully will, and with your help that can be done. So hopefully everybody's staying safe, catching up on the reading and the collecting, and until next time, keep reading and doing just that, collecting. Adios.